Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Anthony James with the Grindhouse Podcast with our Chop It Up Wednesday segment. You remember my interview with Timmy Dick? We talked, man, like 4 or 5 months ago now, man. It seemed like it was sooner, but Timmy did a lot of stuff within these last 4 or 5 months. So, but we brought Hudson in. I know we talked about Hudson a lot during our last interview. So we wanted to get both of them together, talk about the progression, talk about the season, talk about wrestling that's getting ready to start. Because we want to make this a regular thing. We want to follow this journey that Hudson's on, and what Timmy's on this journey too. And he's gonna learn a lot about himself. Believe me, as a dad who
Yeah.
went through recruiting, and you're gonna learn a lot about yourself in this
Yeah.
journey too. So welcome, fellas. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. We just got home from freestyle practice a little bit ago, and he actually worked out when he got home from school, and then we went to freestyle practice, and then now we got to wait. Plan on going to racing practice on probably Saturday this weekend if the weather's right. So
Yeah, and the weather has not been right anywhere. It seems like you guys
no.
get a lot of storms up there. Was that last week? The storm? It was storming up
Yeah,
that way too.
yeah. We had a couple nights of severe stuff, and they actually last weekend we got his car out to practice, but they switched it to Saturday because we had severe weather coming in Sunday, and I think they're going to maybe do that again this week, but we'll see. So,
All right, well, make sure you guys stay safe, keep the house
yep,
safe. I mean, you're in the right industry when it comes to making sure if something happens to the house anyway. So,
yeah, yeah. Everybody needs
you,
garage doors when they get blown in, so it works out
man,
perfect.
well, listen, off air, we'll talk about what happened to my fence, and I had to let you know what happened in my last storm. But
Yeah,
so obviously you said you and Hudson just got back from the work. Hudson, I'm gonna start with Hudson right quick. So
yeah.
so working out, you got school, high honor roll student. What's your GPA right now, Hudson?
It's like kind of weird. In our school, they have like it goes up to 12 instead of 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been in the quarters. It's been like 11.3, 11.0, 11.2, like somewhere around there.
So good student.
Pretty good.
So pretty good student. So
Yeah.
so how do you feel like you balance like the actual work? Because a lot of things that people see, they see that the racing, they see the wrestling tournaments, they see the matches. But how do you feel like you balance the work when it comes to with school and those things as well?
I mean, obviously, school's important, but like I'm more the type that'd rather be out there like working and making money and racing and stuff. But I mean, it kind of goes like I have racing over wrestling a little bit, but then wrestling's right under there too. So yeah.
If we did a hierarchy, we're probably gonna go racing, wrestling, school. We can be honest here. But yeah, obviously we know that, and I'm sure Dad's told you that it's you have to have those things in order to do what you have, the things that you need before you can do the things that you want and things like that. So
Yeah.
as long as you stay in grades and stuff like that, he probably has no problem with, hey, I have that hierarchy as long as the grades are good. So
I told him a long time ago when he was, I don't remember how, he was probably seven or eight, and I said, "You gotta get straight A's, or the race car doesn't happen." And he's had straight A's since. He's never had a B on a report card, and he does really good in school. And it is a lot to balance with practice and games and meets and races and stuff like that. He does a pretty good job. So he did a lot better in school than I did. So
that's you. I'm listening, and you'll take that probably any day of the week because
yeah,
my kids, I'm glad that they do better than I did. So
yep,
so
100%.
so Timmy, let me ask you, man. So obviously I had you on the show before. So what's been going on since then, man, with you? Just either with racing or with Hudson's progression, things like that. So how have you been?
I've been busy. Work's been really good. We've just been nonstop with the business and stuff, which is good. I had a buddy tell, because everyone's like, "Oh, it's a good problem," and I'm like, "It is." But I had a buddy who told me, he goes, "But it's still a problem sometimes." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "It is, but it's what pays the bills." So work's been busy. We had I think we had the dome right before we had talked last time. That didn't go very well. It was
We watched, but
yeah, it was rough. We just had bad luck. I mean, and that race it's so hard to make that race with the level of drivers that are there, but then you got to have an insane amount of luck too that something doesn't happen. And we just fought problems with the car. We missed practice. We barely made it out for qualifying. The only reason we made it out for qualifying, Hudson drew us a real bad number, so we were towards the tail anyway for going out, or we probably wouldn't have made it. Then we went out for qualifying, and power steering was cutting in and out, and then we had a brand new starter, just up and quit the next day, it was like everything that could go wrong pretty much went wrong, and it was just one of those sucks, but we
You make do what you
just
got.
another race. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
and obviously, like I said, I know that we talked a lot about the dome and talked about the race, and I think we kind of talked about, hey, we're just gonna see what happens and get out there, and obviously it didn't go your way, but obviously Hudson's had a lot of success. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna get off of you right now. We're just gonna talk about
Yep.
what. So how do you feel like you balance yourself with racing? Work, obviously, because you still got to pay the bills, and supporting him in all of his endeavors, especially with racing and wrestling as well.
I don't know. I don't know how we do. Everyone thinks we're crazy. I mean, and my wife, she's like, you guys. I mean, we go all the time, but we have. I mean, there are four of us. My wife, my daughter, Hudson. We do pretty much, unless we got a split for baseball and softball, or racing and softball, or for the most part, we do everything together. So that makes it a little better. We're not a divided family. We're usually always together. But man, it's tough. It's tough with him, because I coach the wrestling team too. So we got practice 5 nights a week. If we don't have practice, we're usually at a dual meet somewhere. Plus racing. My dad's been doing a lot for his racing, getting his car ready and stuff like that. And so my dad helps, a ton with his car and things like that. It kind of takes a lot off my plate too. But the last 3 weeks, I've been doing nothing but banging out on his car, and mine's still sitting over there, not ready to go yet. But now we got to start getting mine ready too. But it's a lot of give and take. I mean, work's got to come first. And then the kids come second. Trying to be there for my daughter too with volleyball and softball, and then he just turned 14 a couple weeks ago, having a race car. It's nonstop. We go all the time, but I don't know. I'd be bored, I think, if we didn't have all that to do. I think it'd be a boring life if we didn't race and do all the things we do. So,
yeah. And believe me, I know that from a dad standpoint, where it's like, you're always on the move, always traveling, always something, but it keeps you humble too, because you got to keep the main thing, but you're like, hey, I do this so they can do the things that they want to do. So it definitely helps, and especially being a kind of a family industry, because you're just talking about your dad. I know you said your grandfather back, he raced as well. So but did you ever imagine your son would have this passion for not just the racing, but the wrestling and just the work?
I don't know. You never know. I mean, there's racers all around the world, and their kids don't want anything to do with it. And it's probably the same with wrestling too. I mean, racing and wrestling are probably two of the hardest sports on your mind and your body too. I mean, I feel like they're two of the hardest sports you can probably do mentally. So it's kind of weird that we're this deep in both of them, I think. But I think it shows, I guess maybe how mentally tough we are to hold on to some of the things we have. But I figured he would be into racing. I mean, I knew he would love it. I didn't think he'd want to just sell his soul to race like he does right now. I mean, that's all he wants to do. And wrestling the same way, he's pretty committed. I mean, we wrestle. We don't wrestle year round. We pop down to Missouri to some perler camps and stuff like that in the off season. But now we're wrestling freestyle. So now he's taking his wrestling to a whole nother level in the off season. And but I figured he'd definitely probably dive right in. But he likes to work too. If he wants to have a race car for the rest of his life, he's going to have to work. So, but he works with me during the summer, makes his own money. He's got his own iRacing rig he paid for with his work money and stuff like that. So he knows the value of a dollar.
That's good. So, the mental side of it though, because obviously, he knows how to work. He the work that he puts in. Excuse me. But when it comes to the mental side of seeing him in these high pressure situations, so how do you handle it? I'll ask him later how he handles it, but how do you handle seeing him compared to yourself too?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's completely normal for me. I mean, I've wrestled and been around racing my whole life, so to me, it's normal. For him, he's pretty calm. He's a little different. I mean, my wife. She doesn't understand how I don't worry about anything. I have no anxiety on anything. I just go with the flow and make things happen or whatever. And her and my daughter kind of worry about everything. Hudson's kind of the same way. He kind of just flows. And I didn't really think he was going to be that good of a wrestler when he was little. And I told my dad, I said, he's not me. I said, he doesn't have my kind of mentality. And then when he's jumped on the mat when he was 6 years old, his whole mentality changed. So
second happened.
yeah,
No reason why my soundboard got turned off. There we go. I can hear myself now. I don't.
We lost you for a second.
Right. I was like, yeah, I hit I got big feet. I wear a size 14, so I hit the button here at the bottom. So, but no, we're all good. But no, I got what you, like I said, just hearing just how, his pressure and all that stuff and what it does for you guys and all that. But I guess, as it is from a dad standpoint, because obviously I felt like this helped me with me and my boys. So, have you felt like the sports have brought you guys closer? And do you guys have like any rituals, routines that you guys make sure you do either on race day or match day or something like that?
Man, I mean, it's definitely brought us closer. Yeah, we're damn near like the same person. I mean, if you talk to my wife, she's just, she can tell you, like, we think the same, we talk the same. It's as far as like game day stuff or not. Like I said, we're both pretty just like, we're just ready to. I don't know. I see him deal with the pressure pretty well for his age, but I think it sucks sometimes because I know what he's feeling. I know what it feels like to, deal with losing. But I know what it feels like to, have the win on your shoulders only too. So.
Hi, I'm Shane with Restore Hyper Wellness right here in Murphy, Texas. I'm proud to say we're partners with Grindhouse Sports Training just next door in Wiley. Now, Coach Washington over at Grindhouse Sports Training has done a phenomenal job at not just building out a business in the community, being a pillar in the community, but also being an inspiration to the young, talented kids that he trains each and every day. Now, last year, Coach Washington started a podcast, a Grindhouse podcast. The links are below. I encourage each and every one of you to go check this out, listen to it, like it, enjoy it. Coach Washington will walk you through his personal experiences, what motivates him, what made him what he is today, and why he's so effective at being a phenomenal leader to these young, talented individuals. Check out the podcast. We'll see you soon.
But Hudson, I'm gonna get to the main attraction. Timmy, I'm done with you, man. So but
it's gonna be that way for a while. Yeah. It's just gonna get worse and worse on my end.
You get used to that. But Hudson, man, so one, let me ask you, because both your sports are demanding. So how are you able to switch gears? Because I know that you just went from racing and now you're back into going right into wrestling now. So how do you switch gears so fast, man?
I mean, they're two tough sports, but like a lot of it's just natural, and I remember it well, and I mean, yeah, it's kind of when one's like, which I'm never ready for racing season to end, but sometimes when wrestling's getting a little tough, I'll be like, man, I'm just ready for race season to be here, but racing, I'm never really like ready for it to be over, but then once wrestling's over, I'm missing it too. But yeah,
and I think that's normal too, man. Especially when you love more than one thing, you definitely want to try it and try it and try it. So, but what was your first introduction to wrestling, Hudson? What got you to just say, you know what, I want to wrestle? Even though I know racing, you've seen it probably, and you kind of fell in love with it probably when you were younger. But what got you to say, hey, I want to wrestle as well?
I don't even know. I think he signed me up.
I think I just signed him up
when I was like 5 years old or something, and I just kind of stuck to it from there.
Okay. Well, listen, that happens too. Dad sometimes just say, you know what, you're gonna do this and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
So, Hudson, do you feel like there's anything that helps you in wrestling with racing or racing with wrestling?
I feel like both just make you like mentally and physically like tougher. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they're two really different sports. So I feel like, I mean, some of it could help you, but like some of it is nowhere near where it could help you. Mm-hmm. But
being in shape's not a bad thing.
True.
Yeah, especially with the mental grind. I think it probably helps you more of the mental side of being able to be in there by yourself and knowing that whether you're on the mat or you're in the car, that it's you against whatever you in front of you, whether it's an opponent, whether it's the track and things like that. So that's just me personally. I've never raced, I've never wrestled, but I'm just imagining that mental side of just knowing that I'm here alone to do this. That
that's one of the things that's I think that's one of the best things about it. And it's if you win, we still wrestle as a team. We did very well as a team this year. We lost one dual meet. We brought home, we were the top 10 down at state.
Mm-hmm.
Our team was great, but it's per match, it's just you. And it's kind of the same way with racing. I can be signaling for him, and he's got us to work on his car and help and fix things and stuff like that. But in the end, it's just him out there, so it's kind of one of those deals. If you win, you get all the glory, but if you lose, you feel like it's all on you. And I feel the same way. Like if I don't win a race, I'm like, man, I let these guys down, or, and I know that's probably tough as a kid to handle too.
Yeah.
I'm not wrestling anymore like I used to, but I know wrestling's a lot like that too. You just feel, mentally and physically defeated, when you lose, and you're the only one that has to carry it. So.
And I can definitely understand that. So, but Hudson, let me ask you this: what's your so far? Because obviously you're just still young, 14. But what's some of your proudest moments so far, either with wrestling or with racing, or both?
Probably being a 3-time state qualifier in wrestling, and then I placed twice out of the 3 times, and then racing. Moving up to a late model, I'm really excited for this, to move up to a late model. And some of those races there was one race last year where I came close to winning. I fell just short to the guy who was soon to be the track champion. I just fell short. Mm-hmm. So I was proud right there. But, yeah, I'm really proud that I'm going to be in a late model this year. I'm excited for it and see what happens.
Wow. Obviously, like I said, I'm sure from the age you're at right now and what you're doing and how you're working that though that success is going to come fast for you. So just as long as the work stays there, that's when that success is going to come. So I guess I can ask you, Hudson, what's your dream when it comes to racing or when it comes to wrestling or just in general? Where do you see yourself with this?
The dream is to honestly just race for a living, but that's tough because there's people out there who can race for a living and just get paid to race. I want to do that eventually. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, let's say we take it. I listen. The work's going to get you there. So right now the work is getting you there right now. So I don't feel like people will be this invested in you at this young age if they didn't see that in you as well. So, but for both of you guys, when it comes to this, because again, I feel like you guys probably are strong-minded. So have there been any disagreements when it comes to, hey, I don't want to do it this way, I want to do it this way, and things like that? So.
Yeah. He listens to it with the racing stuff. He pretty much, he listens, because he's still learning a lot at his age. Sometimes the wrestling stuff, we don't butt heads, but it's more just me knowing what it takes to maybe have more success, and him being a kid, we don't butt heads that much. We'll get in a couple of little arguments. He thinks I'm yelling at him sometimes, and I'm just trying to talk, and he gets tired, especially wrestling season when he's holding weight or something like that. He gets pretty grouchy, and Dad's not his best friend all the time, but most of the time, racing season, like I said, he's got to listen because he's learning every time he's out there, and it's just there's a lot to learn with that. So, but yeah, we make a pretty good team.
That's good. So obviously we talked about disagreements, but the other side of that, and Dad, Timmy, this is for you too. What's some of the best advice that you guys have given each other? Because one thing I've learned from my own son is sometimes me listening and to what he's saying, and sometimes the kid might know what he's talking about. So what's some of the best advice you guys have given each other?
Man, one thing he does that's like pretty cool is just how much he watches and learns.
Uh-huh.
I wish I would have had more of that maybe when I was younger. I mean, I learned, but he's like a sponge, and he was probably. I've told this story a few times, but he was probably 6 years old. Maybe we were at the races. Actually, I think it was the Atlanta 100, and that was when they actually ran 100 lapper. It wasn't split into two nights, and they ran a long stretch like a green laps. And there was a guy coming. I can't remember who it was, Shannon Babb or somebody, was like rolling through the field and making a ton of ground up on the leader, and they end up having a caution. Well, you get 24 cars spread out on a quarter-mile track. Like there's cars everywhere. It's hard to figure out who's on the lead lap, who's not. And he like just out of nowhere was like, Bab's coming on the top. Like as soon as they had a caution, a yellow flag, and I'm like, how do you even know what's going on? But he like that's how into racing he's been since that age. He always knows what's going on. He's always watching. He's always learning.
Been at the track since I wasn't even a year old.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had that from him when I was younger, you know what I mean, to be able to learn like he does. But I don't know. I learned some from him. Just sometimes it's like you don't want to push him too hard. I can feel if I am a little bit, and he'll kind of let me know, like, give me a break or whatever. So he helps keep me in check a little bit too. So
that's good. That's good, especially that relationship of just being able to just know, hey, when it's enough,
Yeah.
So I guess I can, and Hudson, this probably be for you first, and Timmy, let's go back to you. So have you had a moment where you guys have kind of looked at each other and say, you know what, all this work is worth it so far? Like, just like, this is like just a feel good, like, hey, this has been worth it so far.
I feel like that moment, I mean, we always would correlate more to wrestling because he'd always say when I'm like on weight cuts and stuff to like make weight for like the postseason, he's always telling me it's going to be worth it when you're on the podium. And like when I won one of those matches to secure my spot on the podium, that was the moment, like it was all worth it and stuff.
Timmy, you same feel it?
Yeah, I mean, everything he does makes me feel like that. I mean, it's man, I don't know. When he won his first, he won his first quarter midget feature when it was an little indoor show, and he was like 6. He was little. I mean, the cars were little, and that was a really proud moment. Because we've always been kind of a little bit lower budget racers compared to what we race against. And even in the quarter midget, like we had this old quarter midget, like I didn't even know what shocks were on it. And we had a new engine on it. I didn't know how to set the thing up. I got some help from some other guys, and he went out there and beat, 8 of these high dollar quarter midgets. They've been racing for quite a while. That was probably one moment in mine that was like, I was just really proud. I just remembered, how proud I was of him. But he's raced some good races. Like when he was running in the kid mod, he'd win some good features and stuff. And him and one of his good buddies, between the two of them, they were kind of winning everything. And it was really fun battle, watching them guys battle and stuff. But I don't know. He wins a feature in a crate late model this year. That's probably going to be the top. But I mean, anytime he does something wrestling wise, he's brought home a few state medals and stuff. I don't care what medal it is. It makes me proud as hell. So I know he's come up a little short of what he's wanted to, but he knows that I'm proud of him, and he should be proud of himself too. So
that's good, man. So last question for you guys. We're gonna end it here. So give me one word to describe the journey so far together.
Think of a word. Might take me a minute.
I'll let you go first. Might take me. Oh.
And if you want,
all right, I got my word. All right. Hopefully, it's not the same word. I was gonna say dedicated. I mean, I was
gonna say hard work.
Yeah, it just dedication. I mean, that's what it takes to make it in these sports, and we're not the best, but we've got the work ethic to maybe one day he can be. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, the dedication it takes, and what we've put in a lot of hours wrestling mats and race tracks, but it's worth it. It's worth it. No matter how we run, we're still there racing, doing what we love with our family, and that's what I take pride in. So
That's what it's talking.
What's your word?
Hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah. That's what
he said. Hard work.
Yeah. When I said it, like it's the same words. It's just
yeah, basically
different word. But
yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming on. So we're gonna be able to catch Timmy on the second night of the Illini 100. Because we got daddy responsibility.
Yep.
We have to take care of first. So, but
daddy daughter dance on Friday night, so I'm not racing. So yeah, it is what it is. My daughter, she was pretty excited about that. So I'm gonna dress up in probably a suit and tie and take her out and have fun, and then we'll go racing on Saturday and see if we can somehow sneak into that big show. So
that's awesome. So what do you got going on coming up besides I know wrestling season season has started. So what you got going on this spring heading into the summer?
Just some off-season practices, maybe a couple tournaments for wrestling, and then I think first race is like April 19th or something like that. It's like mid-April on a Friday is the first race.
Okay.
So, and then just be hitting up some races from there and see.
He also plays baseball too, so we got baseball we'll be throwing. That
stay busy.
Baseball is almost his relaxed sport. Just chilling, having fun with his friends, being a kid.
I don't really care that much about baseball.
What we're playing, shortstop, second base?
I pitch, play center field.
Okay.
And sometimes go in at first, but mostly just center field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, just keep working hard, keep doing, listen to your dad, and sometimes it's good to, just kind of go off and like if you feel it, sometimes it is good to just go ahead and just go with it, but make sure that you're always listening as well. That's the one key that once you get older, you're going to be like, man, I should have listened to this, or it might be a piece of advice you may think of. So when you're going through it, sometimes, you got to humble yourself. Like, all right, I'm going to listen, even if you don't like it. All right.
Yep.
Even if you don't like
it. He's in a good spot. He's usually got a good mindset going on, and he's pretty focused on what he does. But he's still got to be a kid too. I mean, he gets away with it a little bit with maybe, me and old grandpa doing some work to the car, which is fine. He puts his work in, but we still want him to be a kid too. Yeah. You know what I mean? He needs to go out and have fun with his friends and stuff like that. And racing will always be here. But if also he's 14, if he wants to make a run at this racing deal, it's got to start. We got to start putting the hammer down now. So that's our plan. Get him rolling, and it's going to be a fun season, I think. He was pretty excited. We got to practice last week for the first time. It was his first time in the car. And it took him about, 6 laps, and he was locked in and already rolling pretty good. So I think it's going to be a good year. It's going to be tough to get some wins with what he races against, but I think if he keeps working hard, I think the wins will come, definitely.
Well, I hope the weather stays how it should be for you guys to get out there and practice.
Yeah.
I know we talked before about social media, Timmy. I know you, Hudson. We're going to talk about social media. Yeah. Any social media you want people to follow you on or anything like that? So I can let them know?
I mean, I have TikTok. I can check what my name is.
If not, then just have Dad send it to me. We'll add it to the show notes and make sure that people can.
He was so mad when it went down because he almost had 10,000 followers or something. Then it popped back up. Now he's got his 10,000.
Good.
Yeah, my TikTok's 122.racing, and then I think the YouTube is 122 Racing as well.
Awesome. So I'll make sure that I put that in the show notes so people can follow you guys and follow your journey, man. So all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight, man.
No problem. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.